This is the Greg Bedard Patriots Podcast with Nick Cattles.
All right, let's rip through offensive coordinator candidates. It's been discussed, and I think you've thrown it out there as well. Josh McDaniels is a guy who might already be attached, or at least is a name that's out there. Do you believe there's anything real regarding the McDaniels smoke here as far as joining Mike Vrabel? And if not, are there other names that you think are on the radar, or you think should be?
Do I think there's smoke? Yes, I think there's some smoke. How much? I'm not really sure. This is sort of when those things really get going after the hiring. I know McDaniels has had overtures from, other teams in the league looking for offensive coordinators. I mean, currently the Browns and the Seahawks have those jobs open. There will be more, once people get hired as head coaches. McDaniels has a relationship with Ben Johnson. So, that's another option. I had the feeling that the Crafts would love to see Josh McDaniels back and probably have suggested that to Mike Vrabel. I think it would be the best of both worlds. I think it would be a great thing for Drake May. It would be we've seen Josh's ability to develop quarterbacks. I think the biggest thing that if I were the head coach of the New England Patriots or the owner, the biggest things going forward now, once I have the head coach, is I want an offensive coordinator who knows how to develop quarterbacks and can direct an offense and call plays. There aren't many people that can do that at a high level. I also want somebody with longevity. And, Josh McDaniels, given his recent history, I think it's safe to assume he's not leaving to become a head coach anytime soon. And he also, you get somebody who's done it, who was basically head coach offense for Bill Belichick in the latter stages. That frees up Mike Vrabel to, think up crap to do during the game, to screw with other coaches, to get involved with the defense and all that stuff. So to me, I think Josh McDaniels is a great option. I think look what he did for, Matt Castle, Mac Jones, Jimmy Garoppolo, even when they had Jacoby Brissett, the ability to game plan, and even what he got out of Cam Newton, who couldn't even throw the ball to win games that year during COVID. I think he's excellent at his job and would be great. Other people, let's see. Remember they have to go. They have to go through a process. So yeah, right. So people who have also interviewed. So Seattle's interviewed Thomas Brown, who was the interim Bears OC, Hank Fraley, the Lions offensive line coach. The Browns have interviewed Tommy Rees, who's internal Browns pass game, Charles London, Seahawks QB coach. Now Tommy Rees is going to be an interesting name that's
because of
brought
Cleveland.
Up. Yeah, because they were together in Cleveland. I was also put Chad O'Shea into that group, who is who has been here, who knows this offense, who was an offensive coordinator for the Dolphins under Brian Flores for 1 year before he got fired. Chad has a really good reputation around the league.
Receivers coach, passing game coordinator with the Browns currently.
My issue with Tommy Rees and Chad O'Shea and a lot of these guys that I'm going to talk about, they haven't been NFL quarterback coaches. And you could say you're going to go get a good quarterback coach, but, really it's about the offensive coordinator has to be synced up with the quarterback. Other guys I think that they would look at, and they have to do a search by the Rooney Rule, Clint Kubiak, Saints OC. Who could be let go or retained with what they're going on there. I think he's really good. Nick Caley, the Rams tight ends pass game coordinator. Again, he doesn't have the first clue about how to coach a quarterback, even though he has a good resume. Brian Fleury, 49ers tight ends coach, another guy who hasn't coached quarterbacks. Dave Ragone, Rams QB's coach. He could be that type of guy. Jake Peets, Seahawks pass game. Marcus Brady, Chargers pass game. and Josh McCown, Vikings quarterbacks coach, of course, the former NFL coach. All of those guys are worthwhile talking to, but not many have the expertise as a Josh McDaniels.
So could you see a world in which you bring in a non-Josh McDaniels guy who doesn't have the quarterback coaching background and somehow figure out a way to retain Alex Van Pelt in a different role? Because if there's one thing that kind of sort of worked, it isn't necessarily Alex Van Pelt's play calling or how he ran an offense, but how he helped develop Drake May to get to the point that he was ahead of where a lot of people thought he'd be when he first took the field. I don't know how much credit you think Van Pelt deserves, but is there a world in which he gets saved here and is kind of put in a different position? Might he accept it? And would you favor that?
I mean, I would be open to it. It depends on if there's a scheme marriage. Like you're not going to put Alex Van Pelt with, say, a Josh McDaniels or, somebody who doesn't run the West Coast offense. And plus you're talking about Alex Van Pelt having to swallow an awful lot of pride to stay in the building and just as a quarterback's coach. So I would tend to doubt that.
Yeah. Is there anyone who's can you see, is this a clean sweep of the coaching staff?
Not necessarily. I think a lot of people could survive on the defensive side of the ball. We'll see about Covington. I mean, that's possible. Mayo might look Mayo. Sorry, Freudian slip. It's possible that Vrabel sits down with these guys and he's like, you know what? I really like DeMarcus Covington, and me working with him, like, I'm going to take him to the next level. Something that Gerard couldn't do. Sure. I can do that. It's what I did in Tennessee. It's what I did with Shane Bowen. Really brought him along, and you could see that. And I do think that there are good coaches on this team, especially on the defensive side. Brian Belichick could stick. Mike Pellegrino's been a good coach.
Yep.
We'll see about Jerry Montgomery and Drew Wilkins. I don't think those outside hires melded really well this year, but we'll have to see. Jerry Montgomery certainly has a reputation. Hightower,
who knows?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we have to realize that Vrabel is going to have a lot of input and ability to help coaches that Gerard just never could do.